Okay, I was trying to set this up on the tripod, but I guess I gotta hold it because it doesn't want it being in landscape mode. But hey everyone, good morning. This is Zach from Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. This is my channel, and it is about 10:40 on the Eastern Time Zone right now. Um, so I want to first of all apologize for the very long amount of time that it's been since we last saw episode 3 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. And I know I've put a couple updates here since then, but otherwise I've been pretty silent. So long story short, Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles is not canceled. Okay, it's not canceled. Hopefully, it's never going to be canceled. I'm really hoping that it could take another 2 or 3 years, honestly, but it is definitely my goal. Even if it ends up being like just me and like no one else in the show is able to continue, this show is going to have a conclusion one way or the other. Um, so I want to like put that out there. But I do want to just kind of sit down and talk about some things today. I'll try not to keep the video very long. It's I don't know if live format is the best way either. I mean, I do keep the live up, but I noticed that the last time I did a live, only like 100 people saw it. So I'll try to share it, and see if somehow like that makes it easier to be seen. But it's so much easier to just do a live rather than like filming it as an actual video, processing it through Filmora, and then uploading it. So I hope you can bear with me. But I just want to talk about like what's been going on and what's been the holdup. So I'm a travel nurse, and so one of the things that makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles very hard is that I'm not physically in the same location as Corey, who plays Slick, aka Plowbender Studios, here on YouTube, and my friend Stefan. Stefan does have a YouTube account, but he doesn't post anything, so there's no point in linking it. Sorry, I have a little cough. But I don't live in the same physical location as they do. Stefan lives back home in our state of Louisiana, which is where we're both from. I do get to go to Louisiana about every 3 months or so, so it is pretty much guaranteed that we can do some filming while we're down there. But like Corey, so when me and Corey first started filming back in 2023, that's when we filmed the special episode that really just kicked off all of this. Hey, CM and Alex Morales. Oh, wow, 13 views? That's kind of nuts. I'm talking about an update on Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, like what's been taking so long. Thank you all for joining the chat. Hope everybody's doing well. Um, but anyway, so Corey, whenever we first started to film Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles back in 2023, um, he was a lot more available than he is now. Like, it was no problem for me to make a plan because he lives all the way up in Pennsylvania. And so it's like, I actually have to physically go up there. So flying from Louisiana to Pennsylvania, it's like an 8 hour trip because it's like, by the time the flight is done, it's like 6 hours to get there, and then it's like another 2 hours to drive to his house. So it takes a long time to get there. And the problem now is that since then, like starting in 2024, he's got a girlfriend now, and they love each other very much, and he spends a lot of time with her, which is great. I love that for him. Also, he lives on his family's farm, and his parents, they're kind of old, so even though they work on the farm as well, he does a lot of the work. He works like almost 7 days a week. So even during the times when I've come to visit him, I think I've visited Corey like 4 times now in Pennsylvania. Like whenever we're not filming, like we're doing farm work, like we're getting our hands dirty, we're like in the dirt, in the mud, working with the cows, like feeding the animals, driving the tractors, like you name it. There's a lot that goes on. Um, all right, I'm not sure if this is a robot, but it says, "Do you have a cat or a dog?" I don't have neither one of them personally, but my parents have cats and dogs. So back to the discussion. I'm having mixed feelings about Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles because of the reception. Now, I'm not crazy. I know that just because I come out of hiding after like an 8-year hiatus, I know that all of a sudden not everybody's going to start watching it. It's not like season one when we were all in high school and we had like all the time in the world to do this shit. Season one, literally every single episode, I'm pretty sure, has at least 10,000 views, which is amazing. I love the positive response that Yu Gi Oh! Chronicles season one got. But more frustratingly, though, is, a lot has changed in 10 years. We've had a global pandemic, we've had, some new presidents come into office. The world is just a very different place. Media is consumed a lot differently. What people want in internet of 2014 is a little bit different than what they want in internet 2024, 2025 now. So changing of interest might have a little bit to do with why season two hasn't really taken off. I'm sure the inconsistent uploads, the time gap has a little bit to do with it as well. I'm sorry. It's just you can't make these in a week. These live like when you got to go somewhere and you got to film live and you got to film outside, you film out in the elements. It's cold, it's hot, it's windy, rainy, like you contend with mother nature all the time. Um, episode so the special episode was 2 days of filming. Episode 7, when I went back that same year in 2023, it was 3 days of 2.5 days of filming. 2 full days of filming the duel between Zach and Ghost, and then half of the next day to film. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but Zach does find Corey in the virtual world, and he does spoiler for you guys. And so in addition to Corey being really, really busy, so busy that he can't, it's very difficult for him to commit time with other people. That's like he used to do a lot with his friends, but when you have a girlfriend and you have a full-time job working on a farm of all things, um, then you just don't really have, a lot of free time. And then Stefan is also married, and he has a child. So even though like he's the homie for life and we definitely get to film when I'm down, it does hurt his availability as well. So like I'll give you another example too. Like these duels take a really, really long time. Like even though the duels aren't that long, they take forever to film. Like what I mean? You gotta find your site that you're going to film. You got to make sure it's safe. You got to make sure that people aren't going to bother you while you're there. It's got to be good weather. You can't be filming like out in the rain. All the Yu-Gi-Oh cards going to get wet. So like for episode 3, for example, episode 3 took probably one of the longest times to film out of any other episode because I was in St. Louis at the time and I didn't know the area that well. So I had to spend a lot of time just like hunting for various film locations until I finally settled on the one which was across the river. Um, so for Zach's scenes, like because it was just me versus me, in that duel. For Zach's scenes, it was 3 hours of filming, like me getting to the site, walking down the railroad tracks, which by the way, those railroad tracks were out of use. It's technically still kind of a gray area. Like I don't think that they still really want you on the property, but there's no trains and there's probably never going to be a train like ever again. But it still is like a gray area, like I said. But I had to find, some out of use train tracks. I had to park on the crossing, like on the side of the road. I had to walk like I don't think it was like a half a mile, but it was definitely like a good quarter mile. It was like a good quarter mile down the tracks, away from the people, to find like a really like kind of secluded looking area for filming. And my scenes, like Zach, my character scenes were 3 hours. Then I had to come back the next day. And then for the bad guy that he was dueling, it was 2 hours. So just for the duel for episode 3, it was 5 hours of filming. 5 hours, folks. That's a lot of filming. And maybe my process just is a little unrefined. Like, but I was there filming it by myself. Like, at least whenever I was filming with Corey, the filming went a lot faster because he was essentially like the director. Like, he had the camera, and like we could direct for each other. But when you are filming by yourself, I mean, you have to set up all the scenes. You gotta record the scene, and then you gotta watch the scene. You may not have to watch like the entire scene, but you have to go through every clip to make sure that it's fine. Otherwise, you don't want to get all the way home and realize that either something didn't get filmed or that it got really messed up. And then now you have to either go back and film it again or you have to like somehow fix it in post. So I just want y'all to know that this Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles stuff, it takes a very long time. Writing the scripts, making sure that Stefan and or Slick is available for filming, whether that is in person or if they can send me their clips virtually, which I would really prefer that they can just do that. I know that that's what Corey does, but like that's not what Stefan does. And so me and Stefan just film whenever I go home to Louisiana. But thankfully, Corey does have filming capability and he can send me stuff. But with Stefan, we have to film in person. So, and I'm really only available to film like every 3 to 4 months, which isn't too bad, honestly. But believe me, I wish I could film every single month. Doosan, Cookie Wolf. I really don't know if any of these people are robots or not, but for all those participating in the chat, thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to this update on Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. This is very off the cuff, and I'm kind of rambling a little bit, so let's get back on track. So the main point is Spooky Electronics. Hey, Spooky Electronics, I hope you're doing well. 555 Gaming and Productions, I hope you're doing well. So the update that I have on Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, TLDR, I'm having mixed feelings about it because of the reception. I have been working so hard on this show, and it's barely gotten any attention. Like, I think the most viewed episode that we have is, ironically enough, the special episode, which is probably one of our worst ones in terms of like the post editing. You know, it was the very first like video of the new season kicking things off. It didn't have holograms, which people were upset about, and then we were able to fix that later on last year, as like an end of the year kind of video. So even though I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, I love it. I don't want to cancel it. I really want to finish out this show and give y'all the conclusion that you deserve. I have to be very honest with you. The fact that the show really hasn't taken off has not been helping. Like, there's still other like Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action shows getting made. I know one of them that's really popular right now is the Blue Eyes White Dragon Legacy by Treasure Key Studios. Shout out them. They have a really great show that I love watching as well. And they've only been making the show for like 3 years and they have like 22 episodes. I've made my show for 2 years and I have like 5 episodes. So they're doing like a lot better than me. Spooky Electronics, oh yeah, this is the stage a lot of fan show creators have at some point. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love making Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. I love it. It has been such a positive, creative outlet for me because I'm in a very transitionary stage of my life right now. I'm 29 years old. I'm working as a travel nurse. I am traveling to different regions that I've never lived in before, which is very exciting. And I'm definitely getting caught up in the action. Like, I am trying to make sure that I still have time for filming and editing, but like also I mean, if I'm vacationing in a new city for 3 months, I'm definitely going to go and check things out. Like, I'm going to go check out the local social scene. I'm going to check out the restaurants. If there's any like vacation spots, I'm definitely going to check that out. And right now, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky this summer, and it has just been a whirlwind, y'all. It has been such a whirlwind. I have not had time for anything. Like, I've just been working, and I'm also playing Yu-Gi-Oh competitively. Like, I'm going to regionals, I'm going to YCSs, I'm going to like the nationals. Nationals was just in Indianapolis, and it was less than a 2-hour drive from my house. So yeah, it was very, very good to do that. Um, so unfortunately, Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles has taken a back seat. I just want to say, episode 4 is filmed. Episode 4 is completely filmed. I literally just have not had time to work on it. I wish that I had an editor. Like, if maybe if I had an editor, like maybe that would make the situation a little bit better. The only thing is, like, my autistic brain, my ADHD brain, I want the show to be like presented in a certain way. So if an editor wants to step up and an editor wanted to be a part of this program to help me get these episodes out a little faster, I'd be willing to do that, but we would have to like we'd have to really sit down and like, look, I need you to understand my creative thought processes here. Because I am also getting a lot of complaints from people. They're the same way that we film and edit and present the show in 2025 is the same way that we have presented the show in 2014. For the monsters, look, I don't know how to make the monsters come to life, y'all. I don't know how to do rotoscoping. I don't know how to like make the like steal the monsters from the show. I'm not gonna lie, not to call anybody out, but I think it's a little tacky. I think it's a little tacky to like just go steal clips from the show. Like, if I summon Stardust Dragon and I take a snippet from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds, something that somebody else made, and it's like a summoning. And I mean, I know that some people have also used like dual links. I would be willing to use like dual links animations because like those are really cool, and those are not really part of a show. Those are like more for a game. So I have considered using dual links before, just like the summoning animations from that. But y'all, I am not going to like steal from the show. It just seems a little tacky to me. Um, let's see. Spooky Electronics. Let's reply to some of these. Spooky Electronics says, really, at the end of the day, viewers aren't something you should be concerned about, especially within this community. I'm just praying that the algorithm blesses you. Me too. Because, y'all, I have 5 episodes now, and the algorithm ain't blessed me once. I mean, I know that the special episode has 1,000 views, and episode 7 is not too far behind it. It's got like 900. But, like, even episode 3, which was the biggest project that we have filmed so far, it had action sequences. It had multiple locations. The duel was really fun. A building explodes. You mean that all of that only garnered like 400 views? Ugh. I mean, you see how like it's just a little deflating for me. Like, even though I'm doing this just because I do genuinely want to do it, at the same time, whenever no one's watching it or whenever there's only like 5 people watching it, it's the reason why I haven't made such a big push to get the episodes out in a much faster time frame. And for that, I do apologize, because it's not like I'm trying to say that y'all aren't important. Hey, if 5 people watch the show, I'm happy to keep making it just for y'all 5 people. But if I had a similar level of success like some of the other Yu-Gi-Oh shows on YouTube, I would probably be trying to paint these out a lot more. But I do have a life, and Stefan and Corey are busy. So that, combined with the low viewership, it's just kind of a recipe for not being able to do this as much as I want. 555 Gaming and Production says, not to mention video game footage. I will mention that. I mean, like, if that's something that y'all want, if you guys would like to try and see me obtain footage of a monster being summoned, like, if that's genuinely what y'all are into, then Even though I personally think it's a little tacky, I would be willing to try and get it, like summon Cyber Darkness Dragon and use the snippet from Duel Links, and then obviously give credit so I don't get the video taken down. But I feel like more people have been a bit spoiled by more modern Yu-Gi-Oh fan shows. And like, I get it. I'm not modern. I mean, I'm trying to be modern. Y'all, I'm like flying to locations across the United States of America. Especially like, dude, we have filmed like at train tunnels and like in these big, vast locations, like, because locations have been like really important to me. So like, I've literally flown. I've gotten rental cars. I've gotten flights. I have gone to quite a few places to like film the show, and no one's even talked about the locations yet. Like, I'm filming inside of an abandoned train tunnel in the mountains, and everyone's just like, okay, I don't know what happened there. Are we back on? I think we're back on. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened. Someone called my phone and it like messed up the stream. Anyways, there are just some shows out there that are bad, but somehow the algorithm blessed them, so we're like, well, fuck us, I guess. Yes, I'm not gonna throw nobody no shade, but I will say that some of the shows are getting a lot more popular than I would have otherwise expected them to get. And so that's why I'm not going to say my show's the best, because I know that my editing is like, look, y'all, I literally just get like a Google image and I put the Google image of the monster on the screen. But I have found something to kind of bring them more to life. I have found some video overlay things that you can do with Filmora. So I use Filmora for filming, and Filmora is great. Like, I really like it a lot. And I have found that you can put overlays on the Google images themselves, and it gives the illusion that the monster is moving. So in the special episode remake and also Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles episode 3, if you look very closely, I have put some of those video overlays on the monsters so that there's like particles moving in the background. Sometimes the monster looks like it's moving. Just anything to try to add some life to this, so that way it's just not a piece of artwork on the screen. And even when the monsters come out now, trust me, y'all, this is tedious as fuck. This is so fucking tedious to do this for like every single animation. But for the most part, for like 80 or 90% of all the monsters that touch down on the field and get presented on the screen, I have some kind of a sound effect. If it's a robot, I have a robot noise. If it's a dragon, if it's a warrior, I got someone like going, "Hoo, ha," or a dragon that's going roar, like just, because that's how the show did it. That's how the show did it. Was like when Celtic Guardian was summoned, he was like, "Hoo," making the noises. So I'm trying to do little things like that to try to elevate the video as much as I can, but without a professional editor, someone who could like really take this series to like the next level in terms of like editing quality, then it's just going to be this way. I'm sorry. So I'm trying to make up for it by making the scenes very compelling. I'm trying to make the duels interesting to watch so that even if the editing isn't like with rotoscoping, because like Treasure Key Studios, they do a really great job. Like, they have rotoscoping. Their filming is really, really great. Dang, I'm sorry about this cough, y'all. And so, like, it makes their show really entertaining to watch because of their style and their format. So, since I don't really know how to do that, I just hope that at least with episode 3, because I'm really proud of episode 3, I really hope that the way that episode 3 has been filmed was very interesting to watch. The fight scene where I'm breaking into like the warehouse and I start beating the crap out of people, and like the duel with Zach versus the cashier guy, I hope that was really fun to watch. I had a lot of fun filming it, even though it literally took 5 hours of my life to film it and then like another 12 to edit it. I was really happy with that one. I have watched my whole show like several times over, just like watching it, seeing like what I could do differently, yada 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 yada. Let's see. Spooky Electronics says it's a demotivating factor for sure. I get it. Triple Five says I think the stream died too. And then Spooky's like, we're so back. Oh, and then Doosan Cookie Wolf. Thanks. I'm glad you're not a robot. I think the scenery is definitely the strongest part of Chronicles. There are so many cool looking locations for sure. You don't need, and then Spooky Electronics says, you don't need good levels of editing to make it enjoyable to watch. The Dragonverse keeps it very simple, or relatively simple. Little things go a long ways with these shows, and that's like I definitely understand that sentiment a lot. You know, so even if my editing, it's cloudy day, even if my editing isn't like the most on par with like some of the other shows, like who are those Hungarian guys? The Yu-Gi-Oh! Real Life series? Dude, I don't think anybody can beat the Hungarian guys. Y'all, I feel like I'm watching the real show because like, oh my gosh, they have movies. They have like an hour and a half long Yu-Gi-Oh! Movie, Yu-Gi-Oh! Real Life series or something like that. They have a spin-off series that's great. They definitely have like everybody else beat, in my opinion. They're really dope. I love watching their stuff. Every now and then, like when I'm on one of my long drives, I just like turn on the whole series all over again and just listen to it like an audiobook. And then Doosan Cookie Wolf, I'm definitely gonna agree with you on this statement. Doosan Cookie Wolf says, by the way, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Also, I just think that some people don't realize how difficult stuff like rotoscoping and such is. Sometimes it's better to do it in a simple way. Do more with less. Less is more. Less is more. Less is more for sure. Rotoscoping is very difficult. I don't even know how to do it. But even if I did, I'm sure it'd be very difficult. Plus, let's be honest, like unless we're talking about like Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains, a lot of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows out there are very casual. Very, very casual. Like me, I'm a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! Player. I'm not good. Like, I don't have any freaking tops. The only thing I've ever even done is like I've won locals a couple times. And also, I did win a regional qualifier last year when I was playing Voiceless Voice. So playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, it's actually really fun for me. Even though I suck ass, I love playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh. And so I don't, even though, maybe that's why people aren't liking it, is because let's face it, nostalgia really sells this game. And so people who post a Yu-Gi-Oh show where the main character is using like Dark Magician or Blue Eyes or Red Eyes or something, I get it. That's a fan favorite. People love to go watch it. So whenever I'm playing like Tech Genis versus Kashtira, people are like, what the fuck is this? People don't know what that is. And so maybe like the target audience just isn't grabbing onto it because it's not something that they recognize. I understand. um, Bro, the Hungarian Yu-Gi-Oh universe is absolutely, dude. It's like Marvel. Like the Yu-Gi-Oh Hungarian universe is like on the level of Marvel, y'all. It is like crazy what they have done. They do such a great job, and they have definitely inspired me too. 100%, they've definitely inspired me. I remember like I would go to the gym, right, and I'd be like on the elliptical, and I would just like have one of their a movie, like an hour long movie playing, and I'm just doing the elliptical the whole time watching their thing. It's crazy. Spooky Electronics says, fun fact, Mike of Treasure Key Studios doesn't do traditional rotoscoping. He takes a scene frame by frame and photoshops out the background. Oh, that poor baby. Oh my God, that is rough. That is rough, man. Wow. Good props to Mike. Like if that's who edits the Treasure Key show, props to him, man, because I will not be doing that. It takes me, like, y'all, if I'm being honest, it takes me like 12 to 20 hours to edit one of these. The process, if you just want like an idea, so the first process is I take all the clips and like I just put them all together, and then like I render that file, so that's all one file, and then I just take it. I just like to take it scene by scene, you know. There have been times where I've done the duel first, like I've edited the duel first, and then I edited like the talking scenes later. Um, and but like I remember with episode 3, I'll walk you through my process. So episode 3, the very first thing I did was I took all of the scenes for the evil guy and I made them into one video because I needed to change his voice. Since it was me, of course, I was the evil guy, in case you couldn't tell, you know. I mean, that bandana and that hat don't hide me, doesn't hide this beard and these earrings that well. But I had a lot of fun playing him. He was really cool. And spoiler alert, he makes another appearance very soon, maybe even in episode 4. You might see him again in episode 4. Wink, wink. So because he needed to have a different voice, I had to do all of his scenes first, so that way I could, after I made it into a video, I could change his voice. And then that way I only had to change his voice a single time, and then I don't have to change his voice every single scene, because that would suck. So I did all of his scenes together first, and then I did all of Zach's scenes together. And so basically I ended up like editing the duel for episode 3 first, like the whole duel in its entirety, and then I went back and I edited like everything else, like the scene where Zach is like infiltrating the base to the Squid Game music, and then you know, when Stefan and Zach are talking, and then in the end where the building explodes. Did nobody mention when the building exploded? That was real demolition footage that actually came from Louisiana. One of our buildings that was like being, it got severely damaged by a hurricane, and nobody wanted it. Like, and they wanted to put something else there. So last September, they demolished it, and it was featured on national news. It was like on the Today Show that they showed footage from this, you know. Let's catch up with some of these comments. So, nostalgia is a powerful tool and a really big curse. Yeah, I just hope that people can be a little bit more open-minded. And it's because even Stefan, when we were talking about how we want to do this show, because Stefan also plays Yu-Gi-Oh too. We go to locals together, and Stefan loves playing. He's more of a rogue player. He's competitive in how he plays, but he plays rogue decks. Like, he plays Infernobles, he plays Stellar Knights, he plays Ninjas, he plays Ancient Warriors. Bruh, he's pretty goated with that Ancient Warrior deck. Watch out now. Ancient Warriors, he's going to tear your butt up with that deck. That deck's crazy going second. So we wanted to have competitive duels that they're not really long. They're only like 6 turns, but the amount of card interactions is a lot. You know, it's not just like I summon Vorse Raider and attack you directly into Trap Hole or Mirror Force. It's like, no, I'm going to summon like 6 times. I'm going to do this combo, and then he's going to have a hand trap. He's going to have Nibiru. He's going to have Ash Blossom. Like, I know some people are like, oh my God, hand traps killed Yu-Gi-Oh, blah, blah, blah. Well, games have to evolve and they have to change, otherwise they die. Like, I'm really sorry. I don't think anybody would be playing Yu-Gi-Oh if the best thing that we ever did was normal summon a vanilla monster and set 1 card and pass. I know that, ironically enough, every now and then that actually becomes meta. Like, I remember with Paleozoics, they would have like T-set pass, but that's because Paleo goes really crazy with Needlebug Nest. But anyway, let's see. Mike is dedicated to this. Oh, I know. You can tell that they work hard because, listen, y'all, coming out with 22 episodes of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action fan series in 3 years' time, that's crazy. That is insane. That is an insane amount of production and filming and editing. And only this year have I even noticed that it has taken them a while. But I'm not here to talk about their series. I mean, I'm here to shout them out and draw a little bit of comparison, but I know y'all just want to hear about Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. But I just want y'all to know that a lot of work goes into a show like this. So much work, so much filming, so much locations, writing the script, editing. Oh my God, editing fucking takes years off your life to edit. Um, let's see, Spooky Electronics. He edits the show, and he's also one of the head writers, cameraman, sound guy, director, script editor. I mean, that's basically me. This is my show, and the only person that really helps mainly is like Corey. But every now and then, Stefan plays Dungeons and Dragons too, so he's really good at like coming up with ideas. So if I have an idea of what I want the characters to be doing, but I don't know exactly how to get them there, I'll talk to Stefan, and Stefan, like, for episode 3 being a flashback, that was actually Stefan's idea. Because I was like, okay, episode 3 needs to be where Zach tells Stefan what's going on, what the hell is happening. And so Stefan was like, well, it would be more fun if you show it as a flashback. That way you're not literally sitting here reading from a story. And I was like, that's a great idea. Because in episode 3, we got to see that Zach is like literally a secret agent or something, or a mercenary, whatever you want to call it. And that him and Corey were working together to take down the Phantoms. The Phantoms escape, and now we're here, you know? And I think the format was very compelling. I think it was really cool. It's one of my favorite episodes I've ever done so far. It was so cool. But yeah, I literally I'm filming by myself a lot of times. Like episode 3, I was filming by myself. Episode 4, I was filming by myself. And it's hard, y'all. It's hard. Because you'll do like a whole scene and then you'll watch it and I forgot to turn the microphone on, you know? Or I forgot to do this or I forgot to do that. And maybe my acting was really good in that scene. And then I had to film that scene all over again, which really may have only been 1 or 2 minutes. But still, that's like a lot of back time. Spooky Electronics says season 2 has been very enjoyable to watch so far. Bad Wolf 2099 says, yo, Zach, what's up? Hey, thanks for joining the chat. Spooky Electronics, thank you. I'm very happy that's been enjoyable to watch. Above all else, that is the main thing that I'm trying to do. Even though I have a story to tell, I want it to be enjoyable to watch. I don't want people watching this show and clicking off after 2 minutes. If they're doing that, then maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Just wasn't their thing anyway. But I want the show to be fun to watch. I want people to watch the show and be like, yes, I'm enjoying this. This is fun. This is great. So if you're enjoying this show, then that is what I like. I know with some Dragonverse shows, people are open-minded. One of our most successful shows is Duels of Despair, where the main character plays Ice Barrier, or Awakened with Illusion. I haven't actually seen that one. I guess I need to check that out because I love watching like other people's shows and creations. There's so many creative, talented individuals, and honestly, the fact that in 2025 real life Yu-Gi-Oh shows are even still a thing, because let's face it, that was like 10 years ago when that was really popular. It's definitely like fallen off. Because now even people like Yu-Gi-Oh! Armageddon, it's like an animated show now. There's people that have kind of transitioned from the live action filming to making like animated Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's just not the same. It's great though. It's like watching an anime. But I still think that there is something to be said about like filming with people in person, like going out to these locations and like filming near the railroad tracks or an abandoned train station or an abandoned factory or out in the woods. Like the scenery is everything. In case y'all have noticed, I'm trying really hard not to film in like a studio apartment. There may be a time when I have to do it, but I'm hoping that I don't, because let's face it, it looks a little tacky that my kitchen would be like the scene for the epic climactic duel, right? At that point, you just get a green screen, which is another thing I've considered too. I mean, finding filming locations has really not been a problem. It's really not. But if there's ever a time when like we're unable to find a place to film, we are trying to learn how to film with a green screen. I know that the Hungarian guys, they ended up doing that at some point for at least like some of their shows, and it works really good because then it kind of makes it look like you're in the shadow realm, you know what I mean? It looks like you're in the shadow realm when you're feeling like in front of a green screen. Uh Another spoiler, because you guys deserve a lot of spoilers at this point. I'm gonna be honest with you. So while Zach is in the virtual world, Stefan gets ambushed by somebody. I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but he gets ambushed by somebody, and it's a familiar face. It is somebody that he has dueled against before, and it will be a familiar face. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And that's literally like in a house. So we're trying to see how we're going to do that. It's literally like in Stefan's living room. So we're either going to film like literally in the living room, or we're going to get a green screen and try to film in front of that and try to make it look like that Stefan and this guy, or well, it's a guy, yeah, or this person, this entity, are like filming in like an alternative plane, like the shadow realm or something. You know what I'm saying? Um, so like, I think the green screen will be a bit more effective, but yeah, TLDR, we're just not trying to film in the house for a lot of the stuff. We may have to do it every now and then, but we're trying to stick to like mostly like live on location. All right, let's catch up with some of these comments because I'm so glad that people are tuning in. Y'all don't know how happy I am that y'all are tuning in right now, because I originally thought that this was only going to be like 15 minutes of me just talking. And now we're 42 minutes into the stream and y'all have been very engaging. Thank you so much. As I drink my coffee. Hand traps make the game healthier. Yes. Do y'all remember what the game was like before hand traps? Like all of these FTKs, these empty jars where people would deck you out. They would kill your life points. I know that people have problems with hand traps, but y'all, like especially with the way Yu-Gi-Oh is today, like you gotta either have hand traps or you have to have every board breaker in the game. Like right now I'm playing Gem Knights. Gem Knights, do y'all know what Gem Knights do? Gem Knights literally is a blind going second OTK deck. It's like Tempai Dragon. Gem Knights will have one starter and they'll have 5 board breakers. You'll have like Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster, Raigeki, Forbidden Droplet, Sales Band. You are trying to destroy every single card on the opponent's side of the field, and then you normal summon one monster and then you kill them. That is it. That is what the deck. It is a glass cannon. It is a glass cannon deck, but I love glass cannons. They are so fun to play. And then I'm also going to play K9 Vanquish Soul, and I'm also going to play Yummy. And they are so fun. And they actually play a lot of board breakers. Like they play some hand traps, but not as many as you would think. It's mostly board breakers. Sky Striker is one of my favorite decks, by the way, because it's a board breaker deck. Hand traps could not be any healthier than they already are. Yeah. I mean, some hand traps are not very healthy, like Shifter. I loved playing Shifter because I was playing Malice and Shifter decks. Oh my God, Shifter decks. I think we've all hated Shifter decks because, like, when you can play a Shifter deck versus a deck that can't play under Shifter, it just feels bad. It feels like you just stole the game from your opponent. So Shifter had to go, even though I do miss it. I understand that it's definitely deserves to be at 1. A lot of people are saying that about Droll and Lockbird, but I disagree. There's a lot of decks that can play under Droll and Lockbird. Like, do y'all remember Yu-Gi-Oh last year? Like, every single meta deck played under Droll. Voiceless Voice, Tempai, Snake Eyes, and Yubel Fiendsmith, they all played under Droll. Like, even if you couldn't add any more cards, a lot of them could still special summon from the deck. And like Mitsurugi, if like they have Mitsurugi prayers that lets them play in the draw phase. So you can literally like do at least 2 searches in the draw phase with Mitsurugi. Like you can literally search monster card and ritual in the draw phase with Mitsurugi. So you don't even need like Droll. If they have a bad hand where they have to hard draw into something, then Droll is good. But I'm just saying, Droll, it's you just got to learn to play through it, bro. I'm sorry. Um, and then Cookie Wolf says there was definitely a dark age for Yu-Gi-Oh shows. Yes, there was. There was for sure. Bad Wolf 2099 says, funny thing, I used to hate hand traps for a while, but nowadays I don't really mind given how much the game has evolved at this point. Yeah. Yeah, hand traps. I mean, I love Ash Blossom and Infinite Impermanence. That's like my two favorite hand traps in the game. And then Nibiru, even though I honestly don't play Nibiru that much, Nibiru is a really cool card too. When I was on Marincess, Nibiru is honestly how I would clear the board. Like I would just let my opponent set up, and then as long as they didn't make any negations, as soon as they tried to end their turn, I'm just like, okay, Nibiru, and then back to me. I'm like, all right, I know summon Marincess Blue Tang, and they would just be like, ah, no, full combo Marincess, scary. The fans who grew up watching Spooky Electronics says the fans who grew up watching the series for 10 years ago have now grown up and decided to make it themselves. That's the way I see it. And you're probably right. Everyone has the right to make a form of Yu-Gi-Oh that they enjoy, that they resonate with. They can make their own stories. And who's that guy? Oh my goodness. I'm so bad because I can't remember his name right now. There's a guy who reacts to like every single Yu-Gi-Oh series on the planet. And he is so cool. His videos are so funny. He has done commentary on every single one of my episodes. And I cannot remember his name right now, but I actually look forward to his videos. Like whenever I post like an episode of Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles and he reacts to it, I'm very much looking forward to his feedback, you know. Because he's very insightful sometimes. Um sorry. Cookie Wolf says y'all, I'm so sorry. The time from 2015 to 2025 has been the dark ages where the popularity of Yu-Gi-Oh fan shows saw a significant decline and being canceled. You're right. You're right. It seemed like from 2015 to where we are now, definitely during like the latter half of the 2010s, Yu-Gi-Oh fan shows really fell off hard. And really when like Treasure Key started to make their content, it seemed like things were like really ramping up again. So I'm glad to see like a resurgence of it because I love watching Yu-Gi-Oh content. It's one of my favorite things I've ever seen on YouTube is when another person or a group of people like actually get together to make a live action Yu-Gi-Oh thing. It's very beautiful. It's a very difficult expression of art. Doosan is a fan show historian, a guru, if you will. Well, good. I'm really glad, Cookie Wolf. The 2020 Cookie Wolf says the 2020 shows has seen a big resurgence of fan shows. White Dragon Legacy being the first show to really bring the community back. That's what I said. Yeah. So like when they came out with White Dragon Legacy, then it really brought like they do deserve props. Their episodes, y'all, they get like 30,000 views an episode. It's like crazy. And like not to throw shade, they kind of need a little bit better mics. They need perhaps to purchase some better microphones. But I get it. I get it. You know, sometimes we work on a budget too. So that's my only critique is that they kind of need some better microphones. But I love their show. Their show is so funny. All of the characters are fun to watch. The acting is really good. Like episode 8, the Crystal Beast girl, she was like, bruh, she was really good. I wish that we could have like seen her again because they've had some really great actors in that show. And they've had a lot of people too, which is hard because it's kind of like, unfortunately, a lot of people think that making like a Yu-Gi-Oh live action show is very cringy. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A couple of my friends that were featured in like season 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh Chronicles, they don't want to be in the show. I've asked them, I've offered to pay them money Like, because I don't believe in working for free. If you're going to work for me, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you for your time. You know, whether that's like $100 or what, like, I'm going to pay you to film. You know, I don't believe in working people for free, especially in this economy. But it's very unfortunate that the people that were in episode or season one, they don't want to film season two with me because they think like that it's immature or that it's cringy or whatever. So literally the only people in the show right now is me, Stefan, and Corey. And I would really love for some other cast members to come on just so that we have like a little bit more variety. But until then, we're just going to keep trucking. So I'm sorry if a lot of the characters, you know, sound the same or if they look the same. It's, you know, I can have like quite a bit of range with my vocal acting, but I'm not Robin Williams. Robin Williams could Robin Williams or Adam Sandler or Robert Pattinson, they could literally do a whole movie where it's like just them and they could play like every single character. Or Tyler Perry, Medea. Like y'all know that Tyler Perry plays like his parents, right? It's like crazy. That dude that dude acts like half the characters in all his movies. He's a billionaire. Spooky Electronics says, I think I have a feeling who the person dueling Stefan is, if I'm remembering old Chronicles right. We'll see. We'll see. You know, I hope it's a fun duel. I hope it's a fun duel. I hope y'all all like it. Cookie Wolf says, if it's someone Stefan specifically knows, then I know exactly who it might be. I love giving these little Easter eggs. If y'all want me to try to like go live more often so that we can just give you updates about how the show's going, I would love to do that because I hate being in the dark. I know how frustrating it is. And I would love to do edits, like do lives sometimes, just to talk about how the video's progressing, what we are hoping to accomplish, you know, stuff like that. Um, Bad Wolf. I have a guess who the familiar face. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that this sparked conversation. But I'm just gonna wait until the episode comes out. Y'all are funny. Canine Vanquish Soul is such a cool deck. As for me, I can't wait for the new DDD support. DDD is my baby, almost like it was my main character's deck or something. A lot of people felt that way. DDD was a very popular deck. Unfortunately, you know, I cannot remember if it was ever really that good because Konami gave us the support way too late because they finally gave us the structure deck and then 2 weeks later, like literally 2 weeks later, Zodiac came out and Zodiac was tier 0. So DDD, I think it had like a couple regional tops or something, but like it never won a YCS or anything. I'm still waiting for the rest of the Synchron structure deck support. Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's Legendary Duelist that's coming out this year should be really, really fun. Um, unfortunately, I don't think it's very meta. And I mean, don't get me wrong, play a deck because you want to play it. Play a deck because you want to play it above all else. But just because I'm trying to be a competitive player, I do want to play a deck that at least has like a good chance of doing well on paper, you know. But I do love Yusei. Yusei is like probably my favorite character of all time with Yu-Gi-Oh! And then number 2 would be actually Yusaku from Arc, or not from Arc 5. Fuck, I hate that show. From Vrains, Yusaku was such a nice return to form because Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal and Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 had some of the most annoying protagonists that this series has ever seen. So when we did like a return to form where we had like a Yusei style character as the main protagonist, oh gosh, I have seen Vrains all the way through like 3 times. It is such a well done show. And if I'm being honest, my show has taken a lot of inspiration from Vrains. Like the virtual world aspect, the Phantom Brotherhood is basically the Knights of Hanoi. Like I have taken a lot of inspiration from Yu-Gi-Oh! Vrains. Um, the one deck I always wanted to make, and I'm definitely going to be playing it now that the new support is out, Super Quantums, Power Rangers Forever. So yeah, Bad Wolf 2029 or 2099. Yeah, there's actually somebody in Columbus, Ohio got 9th place at the Yu-Gi-Oh! Regional with Super Quantums. That's some dope. That's totally dope. Uh, Cookie Wolf says James Sullivan. Yes, James Sullivan, y'all. James Sullivan is such a gem in this community of Yu-Gi-Oh, because really without him, a lot of these Yu-Gi-Oh shows probably would fly under the radar. In fact, I'm not even sure how he finds them. I don't know if they find him or what, but like whenever I came out with Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles Season 2, he stumbled across it and he reacted to it like 2 months later. Um, sometimes it takes him a while. Like I think with the special episode or so, I can't remember. With one of my episodes, it took him a while to kind of like realize it was there. But he also posts like 5 videos a day, so this man watches a lot of content. So I'm very patient if it takes him like a month or two to like watch the newest episode of my show. Like because obviously people have lives. People do things, people work. People like maybe have families and stuff like that. Like I work full time as a travel nurse. I've been a nurse ever since the year 2020, the year of the coronavirus pandemic. So I work my butt off. Just saying, like I work my butt off. But I also do have a lot of time. So it's just a busy life overall. Um, He's the reason the Dragonverse crew is the way it's today. Yeah, I definitely owe a lot of recognition to James Sullivan. He's really good. I hope he keeps doing what he's doing. I hope that he gets success. He posts a lot of content. Like maybe if he wouldn't post so many in a day, like maybe the view, like because sometimes you can kind of oversaturate a little bit, but it just goes to show you though that there's so much Yu-Gi-Oh content being made now. Like there's so much Yu-Gi-Oh content being made now that he reacts to all of it. So it's kind of a good thing, I guess, because it means that there's so much content getting pumped out now. It really reminds you of back in the day, like back during Edison Yu-Gi-Oh, like late 2000s, early 2010s when Yu-Gi-Oh fan content just exploded. So I'm glad that we're seeing a resurgence now where is the same thing. Um, and even though he's a reaction channel, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, at least not to me. Reaction channels, because the thing I like about James Sullivan as a reaction channel is he gives a lot of feedback. Like he watches it and he gives feedback. He was like, I'd enjoy seeing this. I'd enjoy seeing that. And his constructive criticisms for like the first 2 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles with us was really good. And I know some of my episodes have been kind of long. Like episode 7, if you watch it all the way through, it's 40 minutes long. It's a long episode. And it starts off slow. I get it. I really spent a lot of time setting up the scene for like as far as like filming. Episode 7 was very in depth. Like I had to fly all the way back up to Pennsylvania for that stuff, and we had to find an abandoned railroad. The railroad was called the Pittsburgh and Shawmut Railroad, and it was a railroad in kind of like central Pennsylvania, like western, well, really western Pennsylvania. And y'all, they have bridges, they have tunnels, they have valleys, and it's a lot of the property where the right of way used to be is not really like it's kind of public. Like really anybody can go there. Like it's like an ATV trail, right? Like people hike and ride their 4 wheelers and stuff. So it's really good for filming, and it really adds to like the slightly horrific ambience that I'm trying to create. Um, he spreads the word of smaller shows that you might not have heard of. Oh yeah, like definitely probably a majority of the shows that James Sullivan features on his channel I've never heard of before, and it was only because of him that I was able to watch them. Cookie Wolf says he also preserves older shows that have been deleted, canceled, or blocked by YouTube, like the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Chaos Change or Yu-Gi-Oh! Excalibur. Yes, it is such a shame that like copyright law, like copyrights, have straight up muted like certain episodes. Like certain episodes you just can't watch anymore because like the audio is muted or it was taken down. That's why I try to be really careful about what I put. Like my episode 3 got copyright claimed because of the Squid Game music. Even though I credited Squid Game and I even changed up like the audio, like I added a deeper pitch to the audio and I made some other little tweaks. The YouTube algorithm still picked it up and still copyright claimed the video. But thankfully, though, it did not restrict the audience. It did not restrict the audience. It didn't say that this video is blocked in like a certain country or whatever. So the episode still seems to be good, but I was definitely really aggravated when they copyright claimed it. So I do have to be very careful about like the audio that I use in my stuff. Trust me, we've been trying to get better mics. Oh, Spooky Electronics. Okay. Spooky Electronics is like meaner than a constructive criticism. Um, you guys are really great. I love watching White Dragon Legacy. Okay, sorry, I was getting another phone call and it made the phone die. So Spooky Electronics is part of Treasure Key Studios crew. Let's give a big shout out to Spooky Electronics right now because their show is awesome. Their show is so good, and I literally can be credited with the revival of Yu-Gi-Oh shows on the platform. So that is the only criticism that I have. The only criticism that I have is y'all need to try to get some better mics. I would recommend just like eBay or Amazon. In fact, let me show you what I got. I'll show you right now what I got. So this is I mean it's backwards. Sorry. This is called Sync. This is SYNCO. These are Bluetooth. These are Bluetooth microphones. So the way it works is you have your transducer that hooks up to the phone. Like, because I don't know what y'all are filming with. Y'all filming? I'm literally filming with a cell phone. Like, y'all see this phone right here? This is a Samsung Galaxy S10e. And it films in 1040. This little cell phone that came out in 2020 or 2019 literally films in 1020p. And this is what I film all of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles shows with, is this right here. And I use a tripod similar to this, where this is an attachment that the phone goes on, and that's how I do the filming. So what I do is with the microphone, so you have like, this is the transducer. This is the transducer. So I'm going to show y'all just like a thing. So you see how the transducer is hooked up to the phone? So when you turn the phone on and you start filming, you have a Bluetooth microphone. And the microphone is, now I won't lie. These actually sound really terrible if you put them right here. You have to put them like on your waist or something. You got to put them on your waist, or if you're not standing that far away from the camera, you can actually put it on the camera. Because for some reason, these sound really, really terrible if you film with them like on your mouth. So don't do that. You do have to have it a little bit away from you. But it was like $40 on Amazon, and I have a credit card that gets me like Amazon points. So it was free. It was completely free for me. Let's see. Alan TCG. Oh man, I'm so sorry, Alan. That was like 10 minutes ago. Hello and welcome to the chat. I have 8 people in this chat, and this chat is 63 minutes long now. Oh my gosh. Y'all are the best. Y'all are the freaking best. I love y'all to death. Like, even though like I'm doing this as a passion project, y'all are also the big reason why. Like I said, even if it's only 5 people watching or 8 people watching, I love making Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, and I really hope y'all stick around so that you can see the ending. Oh yeah, sorry, that's my fly paper. I know, so tacky. The thing I'm gonna say is this. This is my request for y'all. Listen very carefully for those of you who are still in attendance right now. When I post these episodes, and we work very hard on them, we write the scripts, we do the filming, we post it, y'all watch it. Please, please, please engage in the comments. I want to know what you thought about it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Is there something that you would like to say? Like, what are your thoughts on the next episode? What do you think is going to happen? What did you enjoy about the episode? What did you not like about the episode? Because sometimes we'll post something and like nobody says anything. Like the video will get like 30 likes. So clearly 30 people liked it, but nobody engaged. Nobody told me what they liked about it. Nobody told, like, James Sullivan has been one of the only persons that has given us feedback, you know? So if you guys watch the show, even if it's an episode you've already seen, I want you to go comment on it right now because number one, it helps the algorithm because discussion helps a video's algorithm. When you comment on a video, it will help kick it into the algorithm. So even if you just want to say, hey, this was a really great episode. I thought the duel was fun. Thanks for posting it. If y'all could please go on every single episode and comment, comment, comment. I really, really need y'all to just be more engaging. Please, please, please. Because number one, if y'all don't engage me, then I'm not sure what you like. I'm not sure how I can do this differently so that more people watch it. And then also, if y'all don't engage it, it's never going to be in the algorithm and it's just going to keep getting like 400 views per episode. You know? Oh man, that coffee's good. Let's see. Cookie Wolf says, making fan shows is kind of cringe. The important part is that you understand that and embrace it. Okay. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is slightly cringe. But I love it. I love doing it. It's, you know what? Actually, I don't like to say cringe. I like to say very campy. Campy is when something is very like over exaggerated and it's very like, is the fate of the world really being determined by a bunch of people wearing something on their wrist and they're playing cards on the field? That's camp. That is campy. That is super, super campy. But we love it. We love it to death. Yu-Gi-Oh! As a franchise has been on for 25 years for a reason because people love it. So I'm just trying to take like a slightly different approach. I'm trying to do like a slightly, in case you haven't noticed, season 2 has been like kind of dark, right? Like some of the episodes have had like a darker premise. I kind of basically want the show to where like the first 2 episodes was like all Happy Gilmore and stuff. And then episode 3, it's like, oh damn. Now it's a tone shift. Now it's like a show where we're trying not to die. Now it's like the Squid Game, y'all. Now we're trying to like, we're in survival mode now, you know? We're trying to like not die, you know? Spooky Electronics says people take themselves too seriously these days, embrace the cringe. Oh my goodness. Treasure Key Studios has commented on the feed. Oh, I really need to keep track of this. Treasure Key Studio says, this is Mike from Treasure Key. I appreciate the compliment and the critic on better microphones. My friends showed me a few episodes of Chronicles and they are really good. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. My show is not as good as your show. So that's why I'm not saying much. But it's very nice of you to watch my show and say that you like it. I love your show. I've seen every single episode of White Dragon Legacy so far, and I love it. My favorite duels actually were with Kasara's brother. Whenever Kasara's brother was still like overtaken by like the evil people, whenever he beat her with the Red Eyes Dragon, because Red Eyes is my pet deck. Like, what's his name? Jeremy Healer in episode 2, where he's playing a Red Eyes deck. That's me. I'm cosplaying as Joey Wheeler, but we had to change the name. So instead of being Joey Wheeler, it's Jeremy Healer. Like Heeler, like a blue healer, you know? So Jeremy Healer is my personification of Joey Wheeler, And so he uses a Red Eyes Fusion deck. Because if I'm ever playing very, very casual, I'm playing Red Eyes. I love like that Red Eyes Dark Dragoon with insulated with like Return of the Red Eyes and like just cards like that. It's so fun. Spooky Electronics says James always gives a show's new episodes a 2 week buffer so that it can get views and people can watch it. He doesn't want to steal. Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. You're right. You're right. I'm so glad because, yeah, that's always the big fear of a reaction channel is that the reaction channel will take views from a video because people will go and watch the reaction, but they don't go watch the actual video. And James always says to people, go watch the show. Go watch the show. I'm the half-baked version. Go watch the show. And that is one of the biggest things that I appreciate about James is that even if you're watching me, please go watch the original show. Treasure Key Studio says, oh, for my last live action show, I'm planning on using my iPhone to film rather than my Canon camcorder. Yeah, because like y'all, this cell phone literally records in 1080p. Like iPhones and Samsung devices. And if you go online to like eBay or something, you could probably snag one for like $100. And as long as nothing else is on the phone, like as long as nothing else is on the phone, like to really take up space, you should have more than enough space for filming. Because the phone does not need to have any service. It does not need to be connected to data to film. Because even if a phone does not have service data, it does have Wi-Fi. So you can still use mobile apps and all of that other stuff on the phone. Facebook Messenger, you name it. It just needs Wi-Fi. But for filming, you don't need anything. You don't need service and you don't need Wi-Fi. So just get a Bluetooth microphone that hooks up to the phone. It goes into the charging port usually. Or if you still have an if you have an auxiliary, it can go into the auxiliary as well. So you just literally hook it up into the charging port of your phone, and then you connect the microphone to you, and then you're off to the races. And these phones, y'all, they record. Like the only thing better than these phones is like the cameras that they use for the Marvel movies. Like these phones, all of my episodes. Well, I take that back, except for the special episode. The special episode, I was still using the same camcorder that I was using for season 1, and it kind of shows. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but you can tell that there's like a notable like lack of quality in the special episode versus all of the other ones. But it still ended up being pretty good because Filmora like really cleans up like videos, and so even a video that was maybe not shot with the best resolution, Filmora makes the videos really clean looking. Bad Wolf says, I actually got a camera a while ago. I just need to get a good microphone to go with it, and I can start making my own Yu-Gi-Oh fan series, assuming a friend of mine has enough time. Hey, listen, even if your friend doesn't have enough time, if you can just go to like Walmart and get a bunch of different clothes, go on eBay or Amazon and get like a bunch of masks to wear, or like I use bandanas, I use masks, I use hats, sunglasses. You can make yourself portray a variety of characters. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Excalibur, y'all, Prez Komori. I was so dumb when I was a teenager. I didn't realize that he played almost every single character in the show. Literally. He solo doloed almost the entire series. Like Maverick, y'all, I thought Maverick was another person. I did not realize that Prez was playing Maverick. Gosh, I'm sorry. Y'all, I did not realize that Prez Komori was playing Maverick the entire time until like the last episode. I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all, that's Prez. And me and Prez Komori, we're actually really, we're on Facebook. He is a competitive Magic the Gathering player now, and he like actually travels. And I know that you can actually get paid Like Magic the Gathering pays you. Yu-Gi-Oh does not pay you. If you win, like if not even win, if you top at a Magic event, you get $1,000 just for topping. And if you win, you get like 5 to 10,000 bucks. So yeah, you can make a living off of literally just doing competitive Magic. So that's what he does. But no, Bad Wolf. Even if you are the only person, if nobody else wants to film with you, take inspiration from Prez Komori. Go watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Excalibur. Look at what he did and try to do something similar because, like with me, episode 3, other than Stefan's appearance and Corey's appearance, the whole duel was me and myself and I. Episode 7 was me, myself, and I, because obviously I'm playing Ghost. If that wasn't obvious enough, I'm playing Ghost, and I love playing Ghost because he's just such an asshole. But Ghost is actually like he's more of an anti-hero, like well, no, not even an anti-hero. He's not a hero. He's not a hero. He's not a hero. But he's not a terrible person. He's more like... So Ghost is inspired by Zane Truesdale. In Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, when Zane Truesdale, like, became, like, evil and shit, and he wore, like, the black clothes, and he got, like, the Cyber Dark cards, that is the 100% inspiration that I got for Ghost. That's why I'm playing mostly Cyber Dark cards rather than playing like the Cyber Dragon cards. And then of course like the black clothes, and like some of the dialogue that I say is literally straight from Zane Truesdale. Like whenever I said you're making my blood boil, whenever you like are in Duel Links and you inflict a lot of damage to Zane, that's literally what he says. He's like, "You're making my blood boil." And then when you watch him in the show, y'all, he had like some really good moments. Like when he was about to battle with Ubel in the alternative dimension, Ubel was like talking some shit, and then Zane Truesdale was like, "You can't scare me. My fate is written." So 100%, I'm going to have a scene where Ghost is going to say, "My fate is written," and then draws his card and starts playing because it was such a badass moment. Ghost is just this badass bad guy, and I love Ghost. I'm so glad that like him and Zach were able to have like a confrontation with each other. It's definitely my favorite duel that I have filmed. Episode 3 might be one of the best like overall episodes, but the duel that was in episode 7 was definitely like the most in depth so far. It was a lot. It was a lot. I worked on that whole script for like 2 weeks and then went to Pennsylvania and took like 3 days to film it. Cookie Wolf says, "I love Red Eyes. It used to be my favorite deck. Now it's Galaxy Eyes." I actually have Galaxy Eyes too, because the Galaxy Eyes is a really funny going second OTK deck as well. Like you summon like the oh god, I don't even remember. But there's this one monster that you summon and it can attack 3 times and goes for game. 555 Gaming and Production says basically almost everyone uses their phone for filming. Yeah, I mean that's probably true. Phones are literally so advanced these days. It's like, why wouldn't you use a phone? They're so good. TCG, also, I know you're keeping up with the chat. Few things I want to say. Glad to see another competitive fellow. I also play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm part of the WDL Writers too. Why? Oh my goodness. So I'm loving that there's a lot of White Dragon Legacy people in the chat. I hope y'all don't feel like I was calling y'all out or anything. Like, I literally love y'all show so much. Like, I watched the most recent episode. I did notice that y'all, I was reading where y'all had to recast somebody. I love the new person that's playing Evelyn. Like, Evelyn 2.0 did such a great job. The triangle duel was so cool. I feel like that there's not a lot of triangle duels in Yu-Gi-Oh! Real life because they're kind of hard to film. Like tag duels and triangle duels, they're very difficult to film and difficult to write for to make it in a very engaging way. So y'all did a really, really good job with that. And the new Evelyn, she did a really great job. I really loved her character. She was excuse me. She was a great actor, and I'm really glad that the Evelyn character is still around. So thank you, Alan TCG, for that. Cookie Wolf says, also to quote James, oh, sorry to giving spoilers for all two of you that don't know what's happening in the show. And for those that don't, why are you watching a reaction instead of the original video? Oh my God, he said that. James Sullivan said that, and it was so funny. Like, that dude is so funny. He's so funny. He is such a funny fella. James is like a total gem. He's like the such a cool fellow. He is such a really cool fellow. Cookie Wolf says, Prez Kamori was a revolutionary character in his community. He opened the doors to many and helped realize, wait, making your own Yu-Gi-Oh series is really not that hard. I mean, it's more challenging for sure. Like, mainly because it's just really nice having somebody there to like hold all the camera equipment while you're filming. Because like when I'm out in the woods by myself and I'm filming, it's a little sketchy sometimes. Like, I have pepper spray with me. I literally have a bottle of bear mace because I don't know what's gonna run up on me while I'm in those woods filming for y'all. So I'm gonna say this right now. If you are ever like in a place like the woods or just some place where you are alone, I really recommend you protect yourself. You need to get like some bear mace or something like that. It can be a little expensive, but like your safety is paramount. We want Yu-Gi-Oh content, but we want you to be safe. Make sure that you're always filming in a safe environment, as safe as possible. Make sure you always tell someone where you're going, because if your phone dies, if your car battery dies, if you're in a place with poor reception, make sure you always tell somebody where you're going. Make sure that like somebody always knows that like, hey, I'm going in the woods to film for like 6 hours. Like, so if I'm not back, by like the end of the day, something, send help. When I was a kid, I didn't realize Prez was playing every single character. Yeah, that just shows you how good of a job that Prez Kamori did, that we literally didn't even know that he was playing all the characters. Bad Wolf says, I gotcha. Thanks a lot for the advice. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Thanks again, Zach. Alan TCG says, nah, it's all good. We appreciate the great words. Treasure Key Studio says, don't worry, you're not. Okay, good. I'm glad that I'm glad that y'all are taking my criticism positively. Because I feel like that's the only thing that would make Dragon Legacy even better than it already is just using some better microphones. The ones that I showed y'all earlier, just in case you need like to see it again, if y'all are still watching. It looks like this. And I know it's backwards, but it's called Synco, Synco. And this little thing at the bottom says P1/P2. And you see how it hooks up to the phone. That's like the transducer. And then those are the two microphones. It even comes with like some little fuzzy microphones that you can put on top of these if it's like a windy day. Or otherwise, if you just want to like cut down on some interference, you just do that. And then you just get a standard tripod and you get a cell phone mount for the tripod. I actually have more than one. This is just an example. This one's really cheap. I got this off of eBay for $5, but I also then got a better one for like $20. So there's still people in the chat, but the chat is dying a little bit. I'm going to stay live for like a few more minutes and then I'm going to like head off. If anybody wants to say anything additional, I'll definitely read your comments live in the chat. But let's start putting a nightcap. Let's start wrapping this up. So me, Stefan, it cuts down on wind. Oh my God, James Sullivan is in the chat. Oh my God, James Sullivan is in the chat, y'all. Oh my God, James, we have been talking about you. All good things, though. All good things, though. We are literally talking about that you are one of the things that is like literally breathing life into the community. Oh my God. James says, yo, good to meet you. You're a goat. Man, I appreciate that. One of the things that was really cool about me is whenever you featured Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, there were people that commented on your video. This one person literally said that he watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles Season 1 when he was studying school in Sweden. The fact that somebody was watching my show in Sweden and I'm just some little, like, redneck little fella that grew up in rural Louisiana, the deep south where it's hot as hell, and we have hurricanes that destroy our civilization like every couple years, that someone in Sweden, a country that I've never even been to. I've never even been outside the United States, by the way. Like, I know, so terrible. I've never even been to like Mexico or Canada. Like, I just haven't left the country at all. So the fact that somebody in Sweden cared that much that they wanted to watch my show and that they wanted to reminisce on it as soon as they saw season 2, that motivated the hell out of me to keep going. And I'm not gonna lie, like right now, I'm having like just a low moment, I guess. That's why I had to come on the live this morning, is because I'm not quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, but I just want to let you know, like, it's hard. It's been a hard summer because I've been working, I've been going on vacation. Episode 4 is filmed, but I haven't even gotten to edit it yet. Like, so episode 4 has been, ready this whole time to be edited on, and it's just like I've been the only editor. And Corey is, even though he's an editor as well, he's got his own channel. Plowbender Studios. If you guys ever want to watch it, it's one word, Plowbender Studios. I always try to link his channel. He posts more like Thomas the Tank Engine and like farming content and like rail fanning videos. So if y'all ever want to watch his channel, he's not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Person at all, by the way. Like, Corey is not, like, he only knows a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh! But whenever he was playing Slick, Corey was like, am I doing this right? I'm like, dude, are you doing this right? You're killing it. Like, in the duel where whenever Corey was playing Slick and Slick was dueling Ghost, I'm not gonna lie, Slick ended up having better scenes than Ghost. Like, I could have done way better. The problem with my scenes for Ghost in the special episode was that they drug on for too long, because I remembered all of my dialogue. So I could literally talk for like 2 minutes straight and I could remember all of my dialogue. But I forgot that you need to break it up. You can't have one scene for 2 minutes. You need to do multiple camera angles. So Slick, aka Corey, he couldn't remember his lines, so we had to split up his scenes. So he would say like 2 sentences and then we would switch perspective. And so his scenes ended up being a lot better than mine, which is so funny. Because, yes, like watching Slick, like, scream, like, I summoned Machina, whatever. You'll pay for that because Fortress was destroyed. Citadel gets to come out from the graveyard. And I'm like, damn, Corey, you are bringing a lot of energy to this right now. And you've never played Yu-Gi-Oh! Before? Like, Corey doesn't even know how to play the game. And he was like summoning the cards. He was like reading that script like he had been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! His whole life. It is crazy. Let's respond to the comments. So James Cookie Wolf says, bro, Yu-Gi-Oh! Super Slander Dog. Alan TCG says, Yu-Gi-Oh! Super Wind. James Sullivan says, it really is crazy how widespread Yu-Gi-Oh! Is. Yes. 100%. Yes, it's crazy. Also, James, I appreciate that. I just didn't want y'all to think that, although production is kind of basically at a standstill right now, that the episode is filmed. Admittedly, oh, I gotta get that tacky shit out of here. Admittedly, though, Corey does still have to send me some scenes. I'm not gonna lie, Corey does still have to send me. It's really not much. There's an opening sequence where there's an airplane, and the airplane is flying over the city. Like, you don't really see the airplane. I mean, I might get stock footage of like a fighter jet or something, because I've been trying to use a lot of stock footage from the internet. But basically, it's like the military. Like, Corey is going to be like a military, not like literally Corey, but like he's going to portray like a military pilot flying an aircraft over Crescent City. And he's going to like try to enter the airspace, but then his plane shuts down and he has to turn around so he doesn't crash. And that's like literally one of the only scenes I need Corey to do. But even that is like, he's just been so busy because he doesn't want to, like, he wants to set up the scene. He's got a basement. He wants to like get like, I think he wants to get like the little, oh, whatchamacallit, like the little headset that they wear. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. He has free range to pretty much do whatever he wants because me and him think very similarly. So if I give him a scene, he'll ask me a couple questions and then boom, he spits it out. So hopefully Corey will eventually, like hopefully he will like eventually send it to me. But because the episode hasn't even really been made yet, it's fine. But I know that with Corey, if I tell him like, hey, episode 4 is ramping up production, hurry up and send me that stuff, I know that he'll send it. But I do appreciate you, James, that like, I'm sorry that it's taken like literally 6 months and nothing new yet, but thank you guys for sticking around and still waiting for it regardless. Life is a pain, but we'll all be here when you get back. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all so much. This has been way more engaging than I thought it was going to be. Bad Wolf 2099 says, I'm still workshopping some stuff on my fan series, mainly coming up with a name since I'm absolutely terrible at coming up with names. If you guys don't mind, how does this sound? Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power. Wait a minute. Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power? Dude, that's a great name. Especially if you're going to be playing Super Quantums as like your main deck character. Dude, Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power, let's hype it up in the chat. I would love for a show to be called Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power. Bad Wolf 2099, you better call it that, bro. I will be mad if you do not call your series Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power. I think that is a great name. That is a totally dope name. Corey be like, now when does Dark Magician come out? Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Go Magic Fortress Force. Okay, yeah, Corey was like, am I going to summon like the Blue Eyes White Dragon at some point? I'm like, Corey, your deck is full of machine monsters. No, it does not play Blue Eyes White Dragon. And he was like, oh, okay, so what are these cards? I'm like, don't worry about what they are, just play them. And he's like, okay. And Corey did a great job. Corey, he's not sure if he wants to do another duel, which is unfortunate. He kind of liked just being more of like the support character, but I am trying to convince him to do another duel. Well, actually, shit, yeah, he plays Cobra. Oh my god, I'm forgetting about my own series. So yeah, Corey is going to have to duel because he's playing Cobra. And Cobra does duel somebody. Cobra does duel in the series. And so Cobra is played by Corey. So Corey is going to duel portraying another character. But as Slick, he's not sure if he wants to duel with Slick again or not, which I understand. Because dueling takes a long time. I said this earlier in the live stream, but y'all, filming for dueling, even when you have a script and all that shit, dude, it takes hours to film. It took me 5 hours total to film the duel for episode 3. And it took me, oh God, I think it took me like 7 or 8 hours to film the duel for episode 7. I'm not joking. And it wasn't necessarily that we were like filming the whole time, start to finish, but you got to change location. You got to set the scene up. You got to watch the scene to make sure that the audio is right or that you didn't blink. I have a really bad habit of talking with my eyes closed. So like I don't even see that I'm doing it, but I'll do a whole scene. I summon Dark Magician and Dark Magician is going to attack you. And I'm like, why are my eyes closed? What am I doing? Why are my eyes closed for this scene? Why? Why are they closed? Why are they closed? And it's such a shame because the audio sounded so fucking sick. But now I have to film it again, and maybe it doesn't even sound as good the second time because my fucking eyes were closed the first time. Go Magic Machine Fortress Force. That's funny. That's really funny, Cookie Wolf. Jane Sullivan says that aircraft stuff sounds awesome and a monster to edit. It could be. Mainly it's just gonna be stock footage. So it's gonna be stock footage of looking out like the cockpit window. So you'll see like the plane flying through the clouds, and then Corey is gonna be like in his basement. He's gonna have like a little setup. He'll probably be in front of just like a backdrop or something, and he'll have like a Nintendo controller that he's just like, that's the pilot, that's the pilot wheel. And then there'll be like another stock footage where I'm gonna try to find like a jet flying through some clouds to cap off the scene with. So not the most difficult thing in the world, but yeah, I mean, you can see how like I'm really trying to do a lot of different things with this series, trying to do it in ways that I haven't seen other people do it before. Like a building exploding. I hate to keep going back to that, but y'all, a building literally exploded in episode 3. Okay, like a building was literally demolished to the ground in 7 seconds in episode 3. Like y'all go watch that moment. Y'all go, cause like that was very, very engaging. But other than like James Sullivan, there's just nobody commenting on it. So if that's the only gripe, that I have, other than the fact that there's just overall low viewership, I just want y'all to comment on it. Like, I just want y'all to say that you liked it. I want y'all to highlight a scene that y'all really enjoyed. Like, just please comment on it. Just please, please comment on the videos. Please comment on the videos. If you take the time and you watch it all the way through, or at least like most of it, and you click the like button, please comment. I'm begging you. I will pay you $20. No, I'm just capping. But bruh, please, I will shout you out. Like, I'll do whatever. I really just need y'all to comment on these videos, please. That's how we improve audience engagement. Cookie Wolf says, yeah, the fighter jet sounds like it's going to look great, but also sounds like it's going to be a pain in the ass to do. Yes and no. Yes and no. Spooky Electronics says we could get a Mecha Phantom Beast. Oh my gosh, the Mecha Phantom Beast. I bet the military pilot plays Mecha Phantom Beast with Auroradon in the deck and totally not banned. Draco Sack is incoming. Do a barrel roll. James Sullivan says, bro, we waited like 10 years for Excalibur 39. We'll wait as long as we had to for Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles episode 4. I mean, that's facts. That's facts. That's facts. So I did talk to Prez Kamori, and I am just gonna say that he is because I asked him, I'm like, are you ever gonna just reveal like what happens? Because this is what would happen with me. If for some reason that I was never able to finish Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, I would still create all the scripts and I would post them to YouTube. Like, I don't know if I would do like an audio reading or if I would just make like a community posting with like a Google Docs just so that y'all can read the story. But I will not leave Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles unfinished. So even if I'm not able to finish filming it for some reason, like if I just can't film anymore, I will finish the story. I will finish the script. I will still write it out like a movie script rather than like a book. And that way you guys will know how it ends. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Excalibur, as awesome as it is, it's never finished. And I definitely know that we're hoping one day that Prez, either publishing the script or filming the final episode, that one day we can know for sure what happens between that duel between him and Maverick. me and him have talked about it a little bit, and that's just kind of like where he's at, because he's got a girlfriend. He's living in California, dog. He's living it up. He is living his best life, and like I am so happy for him. Because I know he used to live in like rural Wisconsin, and so moving to California was like a big life change for him. So James Sullivan says, so if Corey crashes the plane, it means he didn't pay for his Nintendo Online, so the controller died. Ah, ha, ha, that's funny. Bad Wolf says, not gonna lie, I came up with the name Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power on the spot, but I appreciate you for taking the time to give your thoughts. I guess that's the official name, Yu-Gi-Oh! Quantum Power. Dude, Quantum Power is such a good name. Like, I wish I had come up with that. 555 Gaming and Production says, honestly, I didn't know episode 3 of season 2 was already out. Dude, you didn't know? Oh my god, it's been up since like March. Yeah, dude, you need to go watch if you haven't seen. But I can't blame you honestly, because the algorithm sucks. The algorithm hates me. The algorithm doesn't put any of my crap out there, y'all. So other than like James posting, nobody knows. Nobody knows, and I think that is one of the biggest reasons that the videos have such low views, because that video, as long as it was to film, as long as it was to edit, as long as it was to go to all the different locations, it still only has like 400 views. And even though I know that views are not everything, it's a bit demoralizing for me when I put so much work into something like that and barely anybody sees it. But now that I'm having a little bit more audience engagement with you guys, I just want you to know that even if things continue to stay that way, even if none of the episodes gets above 1,000 views, because I think the only episode that has 1,000 views is the special episode, the original one, the one that had no holograms, the one with the worst editing so far, has the most views, which is super ironic. It's super ironic, isn't it? The one that is the Kickstarter, but that usually seems to be how it goes, is the episode 1 of any series ends up being like, because it's the pilot, it's supposed to be the thing that kicks it off. And look, Bad Wolf, I don't know how this would like work necessarily, but if you needed like, I don't know if I have the time to be a main character, but if you needed me to be like a side character, bro, I would film for you, dog. Like if you need like a side character, or if you need me featured in at least a duel, I would do that, bro. I would definitely, like, you just give me the script and like I'll film it and I'll send it to you. Real talk. I would film myself for your series and I'll send it everything like on Google Drive. Y'all, by the way, if you're not using Google Drive, you need to be using Google Drive, because like, remember how Mega Upload used to be a thing and then the fucking government took it down? Oh my god, we have 9 people in the chat right now. That's crazy. That is crazy. Excuse me. Damn, I promise it's not like I'm sick. I was camping over the weekend, and so I got exposed to like Mother Nature, Google Drive, y'all. If it wouldn't be for Google Drive, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. But MediaFire also still is the thing. Don't forget, MediaFire was like the redheaded stepchild to Mega Upload. So MediaFire actually does still exist. I think you have to make an account on it. With Google Drive, all you have to do is have a Google address. Like that, you have to have like an email address, basically. But with MediaFire, I think you had to make an account. But MediaFire is also still around. So if you're ever collaborating with somebody and you cannot meet them in person, like if I'm filming for another show, which I haven't had the opportunity to do that yet. No one has like asked me, and the opportunity hasn't really presented itself. But like if I was ever going to film a character for someone else's show, that would be how I would do it. Is after I would film everything, I would upload it to Google Drive and I would send it to them. Because you get like 15 gigs of storage space. So it ends up being like quite a lot. James Sullivan, blah, 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 blah. James Sullivan says, I appreciate that. No one likes the cliffhanger ending. Yeah, I'm not going to make y'all wonder, like, what the ending to Chronicles is. Like, I'll come out and say it. If I ever get to a point where I can no longer continue filming for Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles, I will be very forward. I will be very honest about that. And I will say, I can't finish it, but here's the scripts. I will 100% keep posting the scripts. and maybe someone else will finish it for me. I don't know. Jane Sullivan says, yeah, everybody likes seeing the number go up. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, because when you work hard on something, you want people to watch it. You want people to engage with it. You want people to say that they liked it or that they enjoyed it or thank you or whatever. Or even if someone wants to troll me, I don't care. Troll my ass. I'm a big boy. I got thick skin. You see how thick my cheeks are? I got thick skin. Like, there was this one guy. There was actually someone who did kind of troll me. I think it was at episode 3 or episode 2. He's like, man, y'all's video effects are so mid. And I was like, well, thanks for watching it. I'm just glad you watched it at all. Like, if you didn't like it, hey, sorry about that. But I'm just glad you watched it at all. I know that the video effects are they're not bad. I'm not going to say my video effects are bad, but I will say that they're not as spectacular or extravagant as maybe what the Yu-Gi-Oh! Show is known for. It's very low to the ground, but I try to keep it effective, I guess, is what you're like. I put a lot of little touches into the special episode remake as well as episode 3. Like when a monster, like when when Cash Tier of Fenrir activated its effect, I changed the color of the card and I also made it growl. Because whenever I play Master Duel, that's what happens. When a monster activates its effect, there's a sound cue and the card glows. So it's kind of a way. I don't know if that's going to necessarily be a mainstay going forward, but it was something I was kind of trying out with episode 3. It's like, yeah, if a monster card activates its effect, I want there to be something visual on the screen to indicate it. So if the monster glows, if the monster changes color, if the monster growls, if it screams, if it snarls, if there's like a little sound cue, like bling in the background, I want something to play whenever like a card effect is being activated. Because it just makes sense, right? It just makes sense to do that. We do that when we activate Pot of Greed and draw 2. So it makes a lot of sense that just because your monster is already on the field doesn't mean that you should stop adding sound cues to it. So if your monster is going to attack, even if it like just cuts to you, like like I remember for episode 2, Jeremy Healer, whenever whenever Zach made a move and it cut back to Jeremy, and Jeremy was like, your monster's cool, but it's not strong enough against my dragon. When I cut back to Jeremy, you had Jeremy there and you had his Red Eyes dragon next to him, and the dragon was growling. Like the dragon's like ready to feast on Zach's blood. It's meant to convey a sense of like power and intimidation and bloodthirst just because the monster was growling, even though it wasn't doing anything. And I think that's something a lot of people can learn from, actually, because I haven't seen a lot of people doing that, like in the shows that I've watched. So maybe you could take that, not as a critique, but as like a tip, is just to have your monsters make more noises. Like, for example, the most recent episode of White Dragon Legacy, when Kasara XYZ summons her monster, it's a warrior, and the warrior, when he summoned, he's like Zubababa, and then when the warrior like attacks, he goes like Hua! And then when the warrior gets destroyed, he's like Hua! Even if you have to like record yourself saying these noises, do it. Like, for example, when TG Hyper Librarian got destroyed in episode 3, and he was like, help! Bro, that was me. I was literally TG Hyper Librarian, and I was screaming help because I'm getting fucking killed. And I was screaming help, and I just modified the voice so that it was a little different. But yeah, so I've literally done the ad lib with my own sound for some of these monsters if I couldn't find something that was readily available. Let's catch up with the comments a little bit. Spooky Electronics says episode 2 also has 1K views. That really makes me happy because I know that episode 2, when it came out, episode 2 must have been thrown in the algorithm a little bit because it had a very strong start. Within like the first week, it had like 300 views, and it's just been climbing ever since. So it is definitely right up there in terms of like the special episode. I think it had a good opening. Like it opened with the guitar. I found that on YouTube. I know YouTube like has changed a lot since back in the day. The YouTube audio library still exists, y'all. Like if you go to your like content creator settings or whatever, the YouTube audio library still exists. So if you need audio clips, if you need sound, if you need background music, you can still go and you can get some snippets from YouTube's website itself. Because that guitar sound actually came from YouTube's audio library. And it's all royalty free. You can use it. You can monetize off of it. I think the only thing is like, I think that they technically want you to credit it, but the audio file, I don't remember what the name was. So I'm trying to keep a better log on like what my credits are supposed to be, because technically if you use something, you're supposed to credit it always, because it's just very like impolite to like use something and not give credit. Like for example, I have the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D soundtrack on my computer, but it's in Japanese. Like the title of every like soundtrack is in Japanese because I got it from a Japanese album. I don't know what the name is. So unfortunately for stuff like that, I'm unable to give a specific name credit. So the only thing I can really say is like I used sound from Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds because I don't know what the name was. It's in Japanese. So I don't know what the name of the certain audio file is that I used, but I know it's Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D, so I credit it at least in that way. And then, you know, I credit like dedicated to the memory of Kazuki Takahashi. I think White Dragon Legacy does that too. And if you look at the bottom of literally any Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, it'll show you what the Yu-Gi-Oh! Copyright is. I definitely recommend that you put those in the description for each one of your episodes, just because, I mean, Konami isn't really known for coming after Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creators. In fact, they're actually trying to work with us. Like, well, when I say us, they're trying to work with the people that promote the actual game. Like, Paul from Team APS has worked with Konami multiple times. Faramore, who is a cosplayer, not only has he worked with Konami, but he pretty much like worked, like, I think he's a lawyer, like he's an attorney by trade, but like he is the commentator at like almost every single Yu-Gi-Oh! Major event. And he started off as just a YouTuber from Dallas, Texas, you know, and now he's like literally a commentator for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Live stream. And whenever there are any like Texas, like Yu-Gi-Oh! Texas regionals and they live stream, he goes to them. They hire him to stream, you know? So, so I don't think that they're trying to, snuff any of us out. But you do want to still give credit, like, you know, dedicated to Kazuki Takahashi, Shishia, TV Tokyo, Studio Dice 2020, whatever. You just want to put that as a tagline somewhere in your description. Cookie Wolf says, actually, I just checked it. Episode 2 has 1,000 views, and so does episode 7 part 2. Yeah, it's weird. I think because episode 7 part 2 has more of the dueling than part 1 does. Like, part 1 is just a lot of setup. So episode 2 or episode 7 part 2 is just more popular because it's just more dueling and less talking. Cookie Wolf says Google Drive is a lifesaver. Yes, Google Drive, y'all need to get on that. 8 people watching. Hello, everybody. Thank y'all for attending. 555 Gaming and Production says, I remember Mediafire. That's where I got Pivot Animator. Yeah, Mediafire is. I'm so glad that Mediafire is still around. I'm not sure why Mediafire survived, but Mega Upload didn't. I don't know. It was all part of the Millennium Copyright Act or something like that. People were like uploading entire movies to Mega Upload and basically just downloading them for free. I've done that a couple times. But nowadays, everybody just watches like streaming, you know. It's like $2 to rent a movie. Like, come on, folks. It's cheap. Triple Five Gaming and Productions, you funny. Jane Sullivan says, your effects are mid. Okay, how are the effects on your show? Oh, you don't have one? How about that? I mean, I get what you're saying. It still is kind of a valid critique. Like, I don't want to shut down someone's critique if they are like at least halfway right. But you're right. Like, if you're critiquing someone else's show and you don't have one, you know, but I do listen to the feedback that I get. I listen to all of it. So whether it's positive or negative, I do take consideration of all the feedback that I get. I just want y'all to know. That's why I want you to comment. Like, if y'all would just go, like, if you guys take it away any single thing from this live stream, is to please go comment on my videos. Comment on the video directly. Even though, like, I appreciate the comments on, like, James Sullivan's video, and I'm glad y'all are engaging him as well. If you could also, like, you can still watch his videos on his channel, but watch them on mine after the fact, and then comment. If I'm going to drill it into your brain, give you a lobotomy, comment on the videos, please. Thank you. Please and thank you. Cookie Wolf says, there is a recon guy that just expects these fan shows to be like Marvel or something, and it also just being like a huge douche about it. Yeah, some people just like to troll. Cookie Wolf also says, I believe I've seen one of his comments on one of the Chronicles episodes, and I was like, ah, great. It's this asshole. Treasure Key Studios sent a message, and then the message was retracted. Maybe they said something a little bit different. So they came back, and Treasure Key says, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan series community has introduced me to a series who are really dedicated and some who plagiarize other people's work. That's facts. That's facts. James Sullivan says, well, I'm going to have to rewatch season 2 of Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. Yes, please do. There's 5 episodes. Episode 1, 2, 3, episode 7, and special episodes. So we have 5 videos. And so episode 4th would actually be the 6th one, which is a little bit funny how that ended up working out. But it's cool. Triple Five Gaming says, when it comes to editing for season 1 and season 2, what is the most difficult scene to edit and or film so far? It's definitely the dueling. Like, the dueling is so hard. The dueling is so hard. Like, you have to set up the camera the right way. You got to make sure the audio sounds good. So the reason that I took off my glasses in episode 3, season 2, episode 3, when I was like, man, these glasses are dumb. You know why I did that? Because there was an ugly purple glare on my glasses. And you might even notice it in the first couple of scenes. It might be in the first couple of scenes. Like, okay, you see this? You see what it looks like when I open the window? You see that? This is what was on my glasses while I was filming episode 3. And I'm so glad I realized that, because can you imagine how annoying that would have been to film the entirety of episode 3 and see this? See this? It looks like I have a dual glazer on or something. I'm actually not that mad about it, but I did not want it. The refraction of the light through the glasses is making like a purple hue. So when you take off the glasses, I can't see what I'm doing at all, but at least it looks a lot better than this. So if you have a character in your show and they're wearing, like, I don't think it happens with sunglasses, but with like regular glasses, just keep that in mind. Like, you just always want to go back and watch your scenes after you're done filming them, just to make sure that there's not like something that you're missing. Secondly, the scene, like just scene that was probably the most difficult to film was probably actually episode 3 when I was sneaking into that compound. So that was in St. Louis, and it was like a factory that had, like a factory or a freight post that had burned down. Like it was just a building where the bones was just there, but the building was like out of use, and I wasn't sure if anybody owned it or not. So I just showed up. Like I just showed up and started filming, and I was there for like almost an hour. And then some cranky ass old man was like, "Hey, you can't be here. You have to leave." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. I didn't realize, I'm not doing anything. I'm just filming. I actually have like only 5 minutes left if I could finish it." "No, you need to leave now." So this cranky ass, boomer ass old man, you know, like, and he was like scared. He was like intimidated. Dude, I got like a fucking dual disc on, and I'm just like doing shit. I'm just doing me. And he was acting like I was some kind of a hoodlum, like doing God knows what. So he literally chased me out. He was gonna call the cops if I didn't leave. So I had to leave. So, like, what was originally supposed to happen is there was actually some railroad tracks down, like on the other side of that building. And so when Zach escaped the building, there was actually supposed to be a scene where Zach escapes the area by running down the railroad, not on them, but like on the gravel. And that was what I was about to film until that dumbass old man came and ruined everything. And if that, and then I was like, "Sir, do you even own this place?" And he does not own the place, but he's like, "I represent the owner." And I think that that was bullshit. I don't think he represented the owner at all. I think he just didn't want me being there. And regardless of whether he owned it or not, he was definitely going to call the cops if I didn't go. And I'm not trying to go to jail for stupid ass Yu-Gi-Oh, So screw that old guy. He sucks, like lighten up. But that's what happened with episode 3. So, and that was a very physical scene. I had to do some snooping. I had to do some sneaking around. Thankfully, I had a friend with me. His name was Brian. So he was actually doing like the filming for it. So that made it a lot easier to do than having to do it by myself. I'm just lucky I got as much footage as I did before the old guy like came and chased me away, because I legitimately was not sure where else I could film that, because while St. Louis does have a lot of like abandoned kind of locations, some of them are not safe. This one was very, very safe though. Very, very safe. That's why I went to it. And I was like literally kicking and punching in the air. I can do like the martial arts thing where like you do like a double kick in the air. I had to do a lot of stretching, granted, but that was a difficult scene to film because of that. 555 Gaming. Okay, so yeah, that whole tangent was to answer 555 Gaming's question about what was the most difficult scene to film and edit. Spooky Electronics says, fun fact, Zubababa General in the episode was voiced by Zex Jos, Yu-Gi-Oh! Creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Dimension X. Yeah, hey, man, y'all do what y'all got. You see what I mean? Like, sometimes you just literally had to ad-lib your own voices, Zubababa, Eek, ah, ooh, like, you just have to be creative, dog. Like, Cookie Wolf says, "Oh yeah, Zubababa General was voiced by one of our boys." Oh, Cookie Wolf. So Cookie Wolf, I guess, is part of the universe, the crew. Man, I don't know how y'all found my live stream, but like, thank you. I'm so glad you found my live stream. And thanks for watching it for the last 2 hours. We have been on stream for 2 hours. That's pretty crazy. 555 says, not the best piece of advice for translation, but use Google Translator to translate it. Oh, I guess like what I would have to do is I would have had to like copy, because it's like a file on my computer for the soundtracks. Yeah, I guess I could like copy it and like try to throw it in Google and see what it translates out to. That's a good idea, because then I could rename the audio track on my computer so that I know what it belongs to. Cookie Wolf says, usually when an episode is split into parts, the most popular part will be the last part because that is the conclusive part. Oh, okay, okay. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Episode 7 is going to receive a final mix version eventually. You know how like Kingdom Hearts does like a final mix for their video games? There will be a final mix version of episode 7 where it is one video instead of two, but I already have so much to work on already. So that's not going to happen until it's time for episode 7 to be republished. So after episode 6 comes out, which God, I hope that's next year. I hope that's next year. I really hope that's next year. I'm going to if it's not. But after episode 6 comes out, I'm going to re-edit episode 7 all together as one, and it's going to come out as a final mix. So that way it can be one part instead of two parts. James Sullivan says, in regards to me about why I took my glasses off, James Sullivan says, I thought it was you being like, I'm so awesome, I'll beat you blind. You did a good job with the effects. Yeah, it's like, I wanted to play into it. Like, that was totally an ad lib on my part. I wanted to have a reason why Zach just all of a sudden didn't have his glasses anymore. And so I thought it would be kind of like a badass character moment to be like, bitch, I'm not respecting you. I know I'm going to beat you, so I'm taking my glasses off. And then whenever the bad guy did something, James was like, all right, I'm going to put my glasses back on now. That was such a funny moment. So funny. Triple Five Gaming says, I get how it feels. I wear glasses, and that happens not just when filming Duels of Despair, but also when I make any video in general. Y'all, shout out Duels of Despair. Go check out Duels of Despair. Like, shout out Duels of Despair. 100%. You made it work despite the boomer. Great job. And I almost feel kind of bad talking shit about an old man like that, but, like, lighten up, dude. Lighten up. Cookie Wolf says, "Oh, I am the founding member of Dragonverse Universe." Oh my God, I didn't know that. Cookie Wolf, that's so cool. Thank you. I wanna put some respect on your name for that. Sullivan said, "I was sent over by Spooky and Cookie Wolf. Blame them." Okay, looks like we have caught up with all of the stuff. I remember I said I was gonna wrap up this like 30 minutes ago. Which is so funny. But you guys keep talking, so do I. So episode 4 is this is my goal. This is my goal. The main reason why I'm not working on episode 4 right now is because I'm also writing the script for episode 5. Because my goal for this year is to film, edit, and produce episodes 4 and 5 this year. So by the end of this year, which there's only like 5 months left, I want to film, edit, and publish episodes 4 and episodes 5. I'm going to be going home for a visit to Louisiana in 1 month. And so before I can start editing episode 4, I have to finish the script for episode 5. Oh, y'all are so sweet. We keep being talkative, and then James Sullivan says that I'm very fun to talk to, and it's your fault for being entertaining. Thank you. You guys are really fun to talk to as well. We've never really been able to engage like this before, so I'm really happy that I get to engage in this with y'all. I really do. It's like really, really fun for me. Awesome. So that is one of the main reasons as well why episode 4 I'm not working on it right now is because I want episode 5 script to be completed before I start working on episode 4's editing. I do have another point to say too. The duels are going to suffer a little bit, and I'm not very happy to say that, but they're going to suffer a little bit. And what I mean by that is like mainly the turn count. So because of all of our limited availability, I want the duels to be fun. But I don't think many of them can be very long. 6 turns is like the magic number that I'm trying to go for. Like a lot of the duels have been 6 turns. Some of them have only been 4 turns. Because even like a duel with only 4 turns can still be like 10 minutes of watch time. It just depends on how many cards are trading places here. Are we just normal summoning Vorst Raider and attacking? Or are we doing an actual combo line? So if the gameplay of the duel is simple, then it can have more turns. But if the gameplay is like very intricate, if there's a lot going on, then 4 turns is honestly like more than enough. Cookie Wolf says short duels can always be very fun, even if they are 3 or 4 turns. It depends on how engaging you make the duel. Right, right, exactly, exactly. That is totally my point. So even though some of our duels, I'm just giving you a warning, some of our duels are only going to be like 4 turns long. I'm trying to not make it any shorter than that, though. I do want both players to have at least 2 good turns to like do something. But yeah, because of the nature of the beast, because of how long this takes, I mean, episode 7, the duel for episode 7 took like 7 hours, 7 or 8 hours to film the duel. It was, yeah, and that was a really long duel. I think, gosh, y'all, I'm so sorry. I think the duel between Zack and Ghost, I think that was like 10 or 12 turns. I forget exactly how many turns it was exactly. But yeah, it was long. It was long. Yeah, the anime had some short duels too. I think even in the anime, some of the duels were only like 5 or 6 turns. Like in GX, they would have like a couple of short duels, like when it was the side characters. Um, but like I just wanted y'all to know, and like I hate that because I love giving a really long, extravagant duel. But the turn count of the duels is gonna have to be pretty minimal, like probably only like 4 to 6 turns. If it's like a really climactic duel, like Zack versus Ghost, I am gonna give the duel the respect that it deserves, and I'm gonna make it longer. You know, because it just needs to be. You need to have that back and forth with those 2 characters to really display the power struggle. But I'm gonna have to just keep them short. I'm sorry, but hey, even with duels that are 4 turns long, it's probably still gonna be like 10 minutes of runtime. So don't worry too much about it. Episode three's duel was only 6 turns, and that was like 15 minutes of runtime. So even with just a 6 turn duel between Tech Genis versus Kashtira, it was still like 15 minutes. So it was still pretty good. The other thing too, the storyline may have to be simplified a little bit. Corey, there is like nobody brainstorming harder than Corey. Corey will message me on Discord and he'll randomly send me like this super long script for an idea of a scene that he has. So even though he doesn't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, he really knows a lot about like the non-Yu-Gi-Oh scenes where we're talking about the plot, we're giving exposition, we're doing like interactions with the characters. So he brainstorms a lot and he's got wonderful ideas, but because his time is so limited, I mean, it is so, when you work on a farm 7 days a week and you got a girlfriend, it's like you barely have any time. So, unfortunately, even though he's got these wonderful ideas, a lot of it is going to have to be rather simplified. Like, the plot is still going to be cohesive, like, it's still going to be pretty defined. It's still going to be like, you're still going to be able to follow it, but there's just so many like extra things that are gonna have to I'm gonna have to make concessions with, as far as like whether I feature them at all or whether they get cut completely. And I really hate to cut down on all those character elements because that's how you really broaden your world. But I only have a few years left in me. By the way, Zach, do you use Discord and have you heard of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action server? No, I have not. If you can I don't know how I do it. Hold on. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for sneezing. Um, I use Discord, but I'm a little confused by it. So yeah, if you can like figure out a way to like link it or tell me how to find it, I would love to be part of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action server. James Sullivan says, whatever makes your life easier. It's good to hear the important duels will get the long duels. You can't, yeah, no. The final boss is not going to be 3 turns. It's probably going to be like, I think for the more impactful duels, we're probably going to have like at least 8 turns, you know? Like 8 to 10 turns, I think, is going to be like probably the going rate, you know? But yeah, for the most part, the duels are only going to be like 4 to 6 turns long. And for a more impactful duel, it'll be like 8 or 10. So Cookie Wolf, if you're still in the chat, yeah, definitely like, I don't know, like drop the link or tell me what to type in so I can. It's always a little confusing figuring out how to join a server. Usually you have to have like an invite link to the server, so that you can so that you can join it successfully. And I don't really know how to do that. So if you can like show me or whatever or send it to me, I would love to be a part of it. Because we do need to kind of like start wrapping things up soon. Because like I gotta actually work tonight. Like I have a shift working as a nurse tonight, and so it's 12:55 p.m. here. It's almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I usually take a nap around like 3. And there was just like a few things I needed to do before. I did not expect the live to go on for this long. I'm not mad about it at all. And I'm going to see if I can leave it up on the channel in case. I really doubt that anybody's going to go back and watch a 2-hour long live stream. But maybe you will. Maybe you will. So my link, my Discord is THEM, like them. THEM, and then lowercase n. So it's them, basically. So them, THEM, lowercase n, like the letter N. Oh, damn, where's my computer? Oh, my computer's here. Like, I could actually pull up my Discord maybe on my laptop right now because I got y'all on mobile. And, like, maybe I can, like, accept the invite while we're still in the live stream together. Like, I'll try to do that before, okay. I'll try to do that before I get off. I did notice at the beginning of White Dragon episode 22, like the most recent one, I was very surprised when I saw, like, the opening trailer where there was, like, that there's, like, a universe now of, like, the live action shows. And so it had, like, Excalibur, it had, like, White Dragon Legacy. It just had, like, all of the main shows right now. So I was like, that's so cool. Because I don't think anyone's ever done that before. At least not with, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! By the way, these are really good. This is Trader Joe's. I have a sweet tooth. And I only like dark chocolate. I mean, I'll eat milk chocolate if it's available. But if I'm going after chocolate, it's always dark chocolate for me. So these dark chocolate peanut butter cups are so good. I love going to Trader Joe's because it is just like the cheapest thing ever. God. Man, I have been on live a long time. Peanut butter and chocolate are the best combination. Yes. You damn right. Cookie Wolf says, I can definitely try and send you the link to the server. I think it should also be in the description of our Yu-Gi-Oh! FST episodes. I'm so sorry. Can you spell out what FST means? And I can like go to one of the episodes and like I can try to join the server from there. Because like I'm a dummy. I'm a big dummy. I'm a big doofus. Big old doofus. I'm a big stinking doofus. All right. Oh goodness. I gotta do some dusting, bro. For real. Um. Okay. Let me see if I can get on Discord. On my. Otherwise, I may have to like. If I can't do it on my because sometimes Discord doesn't want to come up on my computer for some reason. Oh yeah. Okay. Fan series tournament. Okay. All right. So let's go to like YouTube. My computer that I use for all of my editing is a Lenovo IdeaPad 5. And I bought it when I was in college. It's like almost a 10-year-old laptop, but it's a really good one. It takes like 10 minutes to really get booted up and get going, but like it has produced every episode so far. I don't know what everyone else is using to like edit and like do stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! FST on YouTube. Oh, okay. Look, like I said, I'm a big dummy. I'm such a big dummy. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I have short shorts on. I feel like I'm being not modest here. Sorry. In case nobody want to see like my hairy ass legs. I'm so sorry. Come on, you damn computer. Hurry up. Bruh. Okay, but yeah, so at least I will remember. I'm gonna take a screenshot. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! FST on YouTube. Okay. But yeah, the so my disc. I guess I need to. I don't really know if I'm gonna create a server or not. Uh, but my Discord username is THEM letter N letter N. But I'm gonna also try to like get on YouTube. YouTube is being very slow, but I'm gonna try to do this really quick. So while we wait for that, I think that basically has covered all of the bases for what I want to talk about today. I still love Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles. Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles is going to have a conclusion. I am going to try to film for as long as possible, but I am also almost like 30 years old. I'm 29 years old. Whenever I filmed the special episode, it was a month before my 27th birthday. And eventually I just want to start doing other things in my life, you know? Like I want to I don't know, like it'd be cool if I could get a relationship, you know, like if I'm single, it'd be cool um if I could have like a partner, you know, romantic partner. It'd be cool if I could like instead of travel nursing, it honestly would be really cool if I could settle down like in a single city rather than like having to move every couple months. Um it would just be really really cool. It'd be really really cool. You know, I would love some things to happen for me. I would love to go back to school and get like a master's degree. I'm thinking about getting a master's in business administration. Um, and right now, I work as a nurse caring for people in the hospital. Like, I actually work at the bedside. Like, if you're sick with like pneumonia or just whatever, like, I'm going to be taking care of you. If you fall and break a bone, like, I'm going to be your nurse. And I love being a nurse. Like, being a nurse is so cool. But, like, also, it's just like hard work, you know? Damn, this is just, oh God, this is so slow. Mm, I know, story of my life. All my equipment is so slow. So try finding the Yu-Gi-Oh! FST Prez versus Travis duel. I think that episode should have a link to the server. Can you type it in chat by any chance your username? How do I do that? Y'all, I'm so stupid. I don't even know how to chat. Start a poll. What if I start a poll? My username is TH. Yeah. So I'm literally going to start a poll. And this is the username. If y'all can see the poll in the chat, that is the name of my Discord. Okay, Spooky Electronics. Do some. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I have no excuse to be this illiterate with technology. I really don't have any excuse at all. Oh, look! And now, here's YouTube finally pulled up. So we're trying to find Yu-Gi-Oh! FST Prez Travis. Oh, I see. Zack Attack is live. 3 people watching. That's cool. I'm glad to know that there's like a check in your face DMs. I sent it to you. Man, y'all are just so nice to me. Oh, okay. Oh, Spooky Electronics. Oh my goodness. I see it now. I see your Yu-Gi-Oh! FST, Travis the Trainee versus Prez Kamori. Oh my goodness. And it has 2,000 views. Hey man, that's great. That's really great. I'm like completely flattered that anybody watches anything that I post. I am completely just like humbled and blown away that anybody even remotely cares about what I have to post or think about or say. Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a link. It's like, it's not a blue hyperlink. It's like you got to copy and paste it. But yeah, I found it. Found the invite. And then also you sent it to my Discord. I'm trying my best too. Like I really hate that I'm not able to give y'all the level of content that I want to give you. I don't know if like the editing is a problem. Like do you guys like the way that Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicle is edited? Oh, I think I remember seeing that. Yeah, someone did record my character before. And like this kind of fan duel that you guys were doing, but it was lost due to technical difficulties. Well, I guess that means you just gotta film it all over again. And you know, Zach is like, let's see. So the invite link on that episode actually says the invite is expired or you may not have permission to join. So you may have to check that specific invite and you may have to put like a different one on there because the one that I tried to join from the video that you described, it is like not there. But let me go to my direct messages and see if I can find it. Doosan Cookie Wolf. I don't know if I'm saying Doosan right or Dushan. I'm just gonna say Cookie Wolf because I really hate butchering people's names. Like it makes me feel burr when I say that. Try the face one. Okay. So Discord is up. It's just moving like a tortoise right now. It's going so slow. But so yeah, I don't really have monster movements. I don't really have like now I will say like when Zach like did the OTK at the end of episode 3, season 2, that was a really cool scene. I pretty much just took like every single special effects transition where it had like the light beam going across the screen. Like he was like, oh, and he had the light beam going across the screen, and he had like some explosions. A lot of my special effects actually come from the transitions, interestingly enough. So Filmora has a lot of expressive transitions that you can use. Like, for example, when I activate like a card effect and there's like a fire, when I was doing polymerization when I was doing synchro summoning and the monsters actually swirled into each other, that was all transitions. Like, I just had to do a split in the middle of that clip to where the video doesn't actually fade out or anything, but I just do a split on the section that I want to have the animation. So it's an animated transition that I'm using, basically. Okay, Yu-Gi-Oh! Live action series chat. I joined it. Hello, all. Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles guy here. Yu-Gi-Oh! Chronicles guy here. Finally. Okay, let me read these chats a little bit. Okay. I will say the next FST season will feature a Chronicles character, Stefan. Stefan is a way better actor than me. I don't know how he does it. Stefan is everybody's favorite character. He steals the fucking show. He's like Seto Kaiba. Stefan is like literally Seto Kaiba. His acting. So, like, I have autism and I'm a very animated person, but whenever I am on like camera, all of a sudden I sound very robotic and it comes out of my dialogue sometimes, and I hate that. I hate that it comes across that way. But I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to like do some coaching on myself, like just you know how like when people get ready to sing and they're like do re mi fa sol la ti do, like they do that. I'm trying to do a couple of those like exercises like before I start filming to not only get my vocal cords stretched out, but just to put myself in like the right frame of mind, because I don't want to sound like, oh no, my best friend is dead. I want to sound like, no, my best friend is dead. Ah! Like, I want to really be able to give. Mike Vader says, we are not worthy. Yes, you are. You are all worthy. I guess I just never realized that y'all were like down for me like this. I'm really glad that we were able to all become acquainted with each other. And like, as busy as I am, if anyone wanted me to ever be featured in their project, whether it was like you were dueling me or if you just wanted me as like a side character, I promise that if anyone ever wanted me to do it, no matter where I'm at, even if I for some reason wasn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, like just talk to me and like send me the script, like send me the idea, and like I'll absolutely do my best. Like I would definitely say, most likely say yes. There's like an 80% chance I would say yes, I'll do it. Let me be in it. But getting back to Spooky Electronics, that would be really cool. I'll definitely have to tell Stefan that you want to feature him. He's going to love it. He's going to watch it. He's going to love the hell out of that episode. I promise you. Stefan is a very cool character. I wish that I was as good with his acting. I'm outside now because it was getting stuffy in there. And maybe one day I can get to a similar level that he is on, because I am the main character, and because I'm playing almost everybody in the show, I am trying to make my acting better so that when you guys watch